You might be in shock to see me in one of these. This right here is my benchmark for all sports cars. This is a 2021 Camaro SS, 1SS package. So if you have never been to my channel, this was the car that kind of started my channel. It wasn't my first channel car, but it's the one that I held on for a little while for my turn, about a year, a little bit over a year. But this was the car that started from my channel. This was the color, and it's called Shock. Had to hit y'all with a dad joke when I started. And this is the car that started it all for my YouTube channel. Met a bunch of great people, networked. This is the car that started it. And also had a ZL1 as well. But you can tell this is 2021. Looking at the stripes, and these wheels are for 2021. But when you see this silver coming along the stripes, you can know that this is a 2021. And this Camaro is going to be for sale here at Suburban Ford of Troy, Michigan, that is. Nice options out, got the premium wheels. It is sitting on Blizzaks. I might negotiate to get a better or a different tire up on here. This is a summertime car, but the original owner driven it year round. It's got 55,000 miles on it. I drove mine in the winter, no rust, no anything. Actually performs really well when you got the right set of tires. And I think I had Blizzaks or X-Ices on mine as well. So the 1SS is going to be a lower trim. It's not going to have the leather upholstery. This one has cloth on the interior, no heated and ventilated seats. That's going to be on the 2SS. But the SS is going to have this spoiler, what everybody calls the MPP. When you notice these quad exhausts down here, that's when you can open and close the valves. I did have an aftermarket bowler exhaust on mine, which it sounds amazing. 6.2 liter, I believe these have 455 horsepower and torque. And the price for this one's going to be about $39,995. But if you go to Suburban Ford of Troy, just let them know that Q Central will work out a deal for you. As I said, this is a pre-owned vehicle, so the original owner, they debadged it, so no bow tie in the middle that would go right there. And we do have a couple extra things coming on around the side. These don't come with side skirts, so it looks like they have some ZL1-esque style skirts on here, which makes it look a lot more aggressive. Gloss black wheels. We do have some Brembos on here, silver Brembos, going to help for the stopping power. And what I love about these Camaros is that they handle so well. The engine doesn't have the most characteristic, it's not the most characteristic engine out there, but it's got torque galore, and most people like torque. So it's not going to revs out to about 6,500 RPM, but it's a gorgeous, stunning looking car. And they also have the LT1, which was the most economical way and the lightest way to get a V8. But for me, I got to choose the SS. And my personal guys of the Camaros, the SS1LE, that's going to be the track handling package. Going to have the wide wheels, wide tires. And we do have this front splitter down there. I don't think the SS's come with a splitter. That's like a ZL1 splitter as well. So tastefully modded, coming on to the inside. Not going to spend a whole lot of time up in here. But the previous owner did something to the upholstery. These are interchangeable. And the previous owner looks like he got a custom design on that. But when you order these, you can probably just order some used on eBay or new from Chevy. You can get these in a few different colors like silver, red, had like a camel brown. But this person went to a seamstress and got it reupholstered. So we do have the 10-speed automatic up in here. And not a whole lot to write home about on the interior. Cloth seats, as I said. The back seat is not that spacious, which is why I don't have one. Again, I wanted to get one, but it's just too small for my family. So now I have a Blackwing, CT4V Blackwing, which is going to be the same chassis, which I think is the greatest chassis, the Alpha chassis. We do have our struts up underneath to hold the hood up by itself. Looks like we're missing the engine cover, but it's all good. As long as it's clean up underneath, running smooth. And this trunk is not so bad. It has an awkward opening, but once you get in there, it's deep. The reason being they can't lift the tail lights up with the trunk, so they have to keep those mounted down there. But once you get past the awkward opening, it's actually pretty spacious. All right, let's buckle up and get ready to hit the road. Knock my brakes off. So first thing I'm gonna notice, the steering wheel is just flat out leather, different from the SS1LE and ZL1 I had. It's a little bit thicker, it had Alcantara, which tends to wear out over time, so this might be the better bet. And we do have tint already, so got a strip across the front. It's maybe 20 or 35%. 10-speed auto. Let's get this thing going in the gear. So I only drove, to my memory, one Camaro that was automatic. That was Taz's. Shout out to Taz V Grinding. He has a channel, hasn't been active on there, but he highly modified his Camaro and he's going for a 700 horsepower NA build. We're going to start this guy off in sport mode and dial it up to track mode. I wonder if this has magnetic ride control, because that automatically came on the SS1LE, but not necessarily the SS, so that was an option. I'll let it do its thing at first. But it kind of feels like it doesn't have magnetic ride control. Can feel a little bit more of the road. Visibility in here is a lot less than the Mustang that I just got out of. Just drove the Shelby GT500 from 2014. That was a hoop. But these are about to be two different types of experiences. One is a straight line car, and the other one is more of a sports car, less traditional muscle. And that's this one that I'm talking about, less traditional muscle. It handles. We're going to see how it handles without the magnetic ride control that I'm thinking. Got to check it out on the dealership website. Wasn't planning on reviewing this today, but it was available, so why not? Handling, steering feels great. All these inputs on the Camaro just feel great. This is why I hold it as my favorite and the benchmark of all sports cars. It just does so many things right. My head-up display. Did the SS1LE have a head-up display? Yeah, missing a couple features on here. Good God, that back visibility ain't too much of nothing, but you do have a rear view camera on here, which will fix that. The Mustang didn't, and I hate to admit that I'm kind of not remembering how to drive without a rear view camera. Felt weird to look behind me and back up and not know where to back up at. No shout out to this car in front of me who took both lanes, and they're still not turning when they have many chances. Even this gear shifter got those two stripes going down the middle. They decided to get all the way across to the left. Not the quickest paddle shifters. All good though. Oh, we got clear. Aw, dang. Cobalt decided to get over at the last minute. Give him a little chance. Saw traction control flash at me. Oops. Forgot we're not on dedicated summer tires. That's exciting. Exhaust sounds amazing. Dang, I forget how good these were, stock exhaust. Fantastic sounding stock exhaust. Oh yeah, it should do the cackles and everything too. So I did a video on how to do it with my ZL1 that I had. All you do is let off the accelerator or the throttle and it just did it. So let me actually go up to track mode. Oh, it's gonna hold the revs higher for me. So used to the manual. Oh dang, we ready to go. That was instantaneous. Steering got super heavy. So when I have my mode set up, I always have it in sport mode for the steering feel, just because track mode is like overly heavy. Like, why it need to be that heavy? No reason to. Oh dang, we all the way in 10th gear. Let me go back to manual mode while we're in track mode. Downshift like 8 times. Camaro doing this thing. Maybe this feeling that I'm feeling is coming from the tires. Uh-oh, was that a pop exhaust? There it is. So I forgot around 4,000 RPMs. When you just get up to RPM and just let your foot off the accelerator, it'll do those pops. At least in the manual. I don't know what the heck you got to do in here. Oh. Rowdy little car you are, but refined in driving experience. Over the last 8,500 miles, someone has averaged 20.3 miles per gallon, which is great. My WRX didn't even average that. It averaged 21, and this has got a whole lot of more power. Slow it on down. Handling feels excellent. Steering feel excellent. Torque excellent. Exhaust excellent. Then when you want to blast out of a corner, which I'm not about to do, we on summer tires. Oh dang, this thing a monster. A lot of people are going to complain about the visibility. That's never been a problem to me. If you know how to set your mirrors, just set your mirrors. That's all you got to do is set the mirrors. Like, there's no problem with the visibility. You see less, like you see less of the sky and you see less of the ground in front of you, but like you don't need to see that much sky. Not to say that it wouldn't be better and more lighter up in this cabin, but it's not a hazard. You just got to set your mirrors the correct way. Set your mirrors away from the car to where you don't see the side door handle or the rear hips on the car. And that's most of the problem that most people don't understand. And then if you get a 2SS, you can get this with sensors on here. So it's really no reason to why anybody couldn't navigate a Camaro. It's got a long hood, so if you do pull in forward without the sensors, which this car doesn't have, you just got to be extra cautious not to pull in too far. But that's why I started parking backwards in parking spots. Ooh. Oh, that's that performance shift. Sitting right up there at red line. So when I was riding with Taz, he showed me something where you shifted into regular mode, manual mode, back over here to something and do something. Performance shift active. I don't know if that's exactly how to do it, but it'll stay all the way up top in the rev range, and my goodness, as soon as it shift gears, you right back in the power band. Let me go back to manual mode. Oh crap. Clean revs all the way up top. Naturally aspirated. If I were to get a Camaro again, it would be an SS. And it's a travesty, Dios mío, that GM will not make another Camaro, at least not for now. They did say they were going to make a 7th gen Camaro. Then they also said they were going to make an EV Camaro, and there's rumors that it would be a sedan. Somebody's drunk somewhere. So if they just need me to help y'all out, just do the same thing y'all been doing. We see what happened with the Charger that came out to where they're scrambling to throw a V8 back up in there. So if you come out with a Camaro, don't come with no dumb shit. Just come on out with that the V8. Oh crap. Forgot I was in manual mode. Oops. But yeah, man. Come on out with the good stuff. Alright, am I still in manual mode? I don't know, man. But I'm getting so riled up about them not having a Camaro on the market, which forced me into a CT4V Blackwing. Gosh darn it. Nah, I'm actually pretty happy with that. So I got the power, a little bit more power than this. I got 455 in here, and I got 472 in the Blackwing. But one thing I'm missing is this small block engine. And GM is just showing off with the Corvette. And I don't like that. So they're doing all this flat plane crank, supercharged flat plane crank, all-wheel drive supercharged flat plane crank with the hybrid assist. So that's the ZR1X that I'm talking about, and everything from the Z06 on up. Even the LT, what's that? The LT, I forgot what they call the naturally aspirated. The Stingray Camaro's motor. The Camaro ain't getting none of that. So that would be amazing if they could put that up in the Camaro, but they not, which kind of sucks. It sucks a lot. So they got all these great things, and now the Corvette is like unattainable for a lot of the people that would have normally went for a Camaro can slide over to a Corvette, but the Corvette went way upscale. You're looking at 200 grand for that ZR1X, like 160, 170 for the ZR1, 110 starting price for the Z06, and the Stingray was at 60 grand, but good luck finding one of those unless you order it. But the prices have dropped on those. But the Camaro needs some love. I would love it if GM came back out with one. Ford did things right. Shout out to Ford. That's the dealership, Suburban Ford Detroit, where I got this from. So they're doing the right things with the Mustang. They even made their Mustang look like the Camaro. I don't know if that was a troll or what, but kudos to them for it. I'm always up for a good troll. But GM just let the ball drop on the Camaro, so they really don't sell any cars. I think they stopped selling the Malibu. Buick, all they got is the SUVs. Cadillac's got the CT4 and CT5, but I'm pretty sure those are going to be discontinued soon, as Cadillac has said that they're only going to do EVs, which is, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to double back on that. I hope they do, because it'll suck to only have one generation of that CT4, which is a ATS basically, but I want to see that car live on. I want to see this Alpha platform live on, and it would be amazing if we could get it back as a Camaro, because I would be all over that. And shout out to Blueprint 1LE. He posted a rendering of a Camaro, which looked amazing to me, minus the front headlights, but the rest of the car, it was more of a throwback. Car sounds healthy, runs smooth. All you got to do is change out the tires on here. You can drive it year round. But that's all I'm gonna have to say about this. Like, even the automatic in this car is good. Sadly, it don't live on, but you can get this car. So hit up Suburban Ford in Troy, Michigan. They got this one for sale. As I said, it's a no hassle price. Man, let them know that I sent you there, and then we'll work on that. But don't got much else to say about this Camaro, but this is the pinnacle of sports cars to me. Got everything. It's just so good. The transmission could be a little bit better in this automatic. I wish it was more aggressive, but it is smooth. Smooth when it does shift when you get in that power band. But it's an awesome car. Great bargain for the money. Sounds fantastic. It's harder to make this automatic do all the popping and things, but yeah, man, I just need a little bit more space. But all right, hope you guys enjoy. I'll catch you all in the next video. Y'all drive safe. Peace out.